In a world where countless interactions shape our everyday lives, have you ever stopped to consider the motivations behind someone's behavior? Did you know that a significant percentage of people may unknowingly fall victim to psychological manipulation, affecting decision-making, relationships, and even self-worth? Understanding the fine line between psychopathy and sociopathy is not just an academic exercise. It's a crucial skill necessary for navigating today's complex social landscape. This book, Psychopath versus Sociopath, Distinguish Between the Silent and the Violent, is dedicated to unraveling these dark psychological terms that are frequently confused. Throughout this journey, we'll explore how psychological tactics significantly influence human behavior. Often, we inadvertently conflate similar terms, leading to misconceptions that can hinder our ability to identify and respond to manipulative behavior. Distinguishing between these concepts is essential, not only for our comprehension, but also for our protection. By understanding the underlying motivations and traits of psychopathy and sociopathy, we empower ourselves to engage effectively with individuals who display these characteristics. Each chapter of this audiobook will delve into a different facet of these complex personalities, providing deep insights backed by real-world examples. You can expect practical ways to recognize and defend against manipulative tactics that exist within our relationships and daily encounters. Whether you are seeking to enhance your understanding for personal growth or to protect yourself from emotional harm, this audiobook will equip you with the knowledge you need to navigate the shadows of human behavior. Psychopath versus Sociopath, Distinguish Between the Silent and the Violent, compiled and published by Cloaked Psyche. Chapter 1. Unmasking Psychopathy and Sociopathy. Imagine sitting across from someone who appears charming and engaging, someone you believe you can trust. Yet beneath that polished exterior lies a chilling truth. This person may not feel empathy or remorse. In fact, studies reveal that a significant portion of the population exhibits traits of psychopathy or sociopathy, making it essential for us to understand these psychological terms and their implications in our lives. Although often used interchangeably, these concepts describe different patterns of behavior and personality that can lead to confusion and misinterpretation. By digging deeper into what sets them apart, we can arm ourselves with the knowledge necessary to navigate relationships that may otherwise turn toxic. Let's begin by unraveling the concept of psychopathy. Psychopathy is characterized by a specific set of personality traits, including a lack of empathy, superficial charm, manipulative behavior, and a profound inability to form genuine emotional connections. People with psychopathic traits often present themselves as confident and charismatic, capable of charming their way into our lives and gaining our trust. This facade allows them to manipulate situations to their advantage, often without regard for the emotional consequences for others. In a workplace setting, for instance, a psychopathic individual may use their charm to ascend within the corporate ladder, exploiting colleagues and fostering a competitive environment that can lead to emotional devastation for those around them. Meanwhile, they may remain unfazed by the emotional fallout, dismissing any feelings of guilt or remorse. In personal relationships, recognizing psychopathy can be even more challenging. A partner who embodies these traits may initially seem captivating, effortlessly drawing you into their world. However, the moment their desires are thwarted or they no longer find you useful, you might witness their true colors emerge. In this context, the absence of empathy can manifest as extreme selfishness and a blatant disregard for your feelings. While your needs and emotions are real for a psychopath, they are merely obstacles to be navigated or manipulated for personal gain. This stark contrast paints a vivid picture of how deeply psychopathy can impact those who interact with individuals displaying these traits. Understanding psychopathy and recognizing it in the people we encounter is crucial for our emotional well-being. The more we educate ourselves about this personality trait, the better equipped we become to identify red flags and protect ourselves from potential manipulation. It is equally important to remember that not all individuals displaying psychopathic traits will engage in harmful behavior. Many function effectively in society, maintaining jobs and relationships while harboring these characteristics underneath. However, Being aware of their tendencies is vital for our protection. In an age where manipulation is cunningly integrated into interactions, equipping ourselves with knowledge is both empowering and necessary. To further explore the distinctions between psychopathy and sociopathy, join me on this enlightening journey. If you find this content valuable, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for more insights into the intricate world of dark psychology. Together, we can uncover the truths that help us navigate our social environment with awareness and confidence. As we now turn our attention to sociopathy, it's imperative to understand how it distinctly contrasts with psychopathy. Sociopathy is often characterized by erratic behaviors and impulsiveness, making it easier for individuals bearing traits of sociopathy to form emotional attachments, albeit shallow ones. Unlike the calculated, cold cunning seen in psychopaths, sociopaths may struggle to navigate their emotions, leading to outbursts of rage and emotional instability. A classic example can be found in someone who has a passionate but volatile reaction in personal or professional relationships. This emotionality allows them to connect with others superficially, but lacks the depth often required for sustaining meaningful long-term relationships. In a workplace environment, a sociopath might become overly attached to a colleague, easily flipping from admiration to resentment, depending on how their needs are being met. Their inability to manage their emotions can lead to dramatic conflicts, which often alienate those around them. While a psychopath might employ a calculated approach to manipulate, the sociopath's approach is more erratic, often leading to unpredictable situations. This inconsistency might leave coworkers or friends feeling uncertain, unsure of what to expect from an interaction, and this chaos could serve as a distraction from their true motives. When we compare psychopathy and sociopathy directly, we see several key distinctions. The enduring misconception is that psychopathy and sociopathy are identical, but understanding these subtle nuances can significantly enhance our ability to identify individuals exhibiting these traits. For instance, one way to visualize this difference is to think of psychopathy as being akin to a chess player, carefully plotting moves ahead, while sociopathy can be likened to a game of poker. The players are less predictable, relying on chance and sudden decisions. Psychopaths carefully assess their surroundings, displaying calculated charm, while sociopaths may find themselves reacting impulsively, often acting out against perceived slights. Recognizing these patterns is paramount for our self-protection. To safeguard oneself from becoming involved with individuals who exhibit these characteristics, there are several actionable strategies to implement in daily life. First, fostering self-awareness allows us to better understand our emotions and boundaries, making it more challenging for others to overstep. Consider keeping a journal where you reflect on your interactions with others. Noting any feelings of discomfort can be a first step in identifying manipulative behaviors. Trust your instincts. If someone consistently leaves you feeling uneasy, it's essential to take note. Additionally, engaging in conversations with trusted friends can provide both perspective and support, allowing you to discern whether your concerns are valid. Setting clear boundaries and learning to communicate them effectively is another powerful tool in resisting manipulation. Practice saying no or establishing limits on how much time you spend with individuals who make you uncomfortable. Lastly, taking time for self-reflection and mindfulness can empower you with the confidence needed to navigate relationships with greater discernment. As we continue this journey into the depths of psychology, remember that knowledge is your greatest ally. The more you learn to identify and understand these traits, the less vulnerable you become to manipulation. If you find this exploration enlightening, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for further guidance in understanding the often hidden complexities of human behavior. Equip yourself with the insights you need to protect not just yourself, but also your relationships and emotional well-being. Chapter 2: The Core Differences in Brain Wiring. Have you ever wondered why two individuals can exhibit such starkly different emotional responses to similar situations? Imagine a scenario where a colleague receives harsh criticism during a team meeting. One person might internalize this feedback, driven by self-reflection and guilt, while another may respond with indifference or even rage. This striking contrast could often lead us to question the underlying psychological traits at play, prompting us to see the nuanced differences between psychopathy and sociopathy. While these terms are frequently linked, an exploration of the brain wiring behind them reveals crucial distinctions that influence both behavior and relationships. To better understand psychopathy, we must recognize that individuals with this trait exhibit distinct neurological characteristics. Research shows that their brains are wired differently, specifically in areas associated with emotional processing and social cognition. For instance, psychopathic individuals tend to show reduced activity in the amygdala, which plays a critical role in experiencing fear and empathy. This underactivity may explain why they often appear emotionally detached or unfazed by actions that would cause distress in others. In practical terms, this means that a psychopath might seamlessly manipulate those around them, drawing on charm while lacking any genuine emotional connection. In a real-world setting, consider a supervisor who embodies psychopathic traits. They may navigate their role with skillful ease, charm clients, and motivate their team, all while remaining untouched by the emotional fallout that accompanies difficult decisions. When faced with delivering bad news, their lack of empathy allows them to treat these moments as mere tasks, focusing solely on the outcome without regard for how it affects others. Such behavior can lead to a toxic work environment where fear and manipulation thrive, leaving colleagues feeling devalued or undermined. Conversely, sociopathy presents a different picture in terms of brain wiring and emotional processing. Individuals with sociopathic traits display a higher tendency towards impulsivity and emotional outbursts. Unlike their psychopathic counterparts, they are capable of forming attachments, albeit often shallow and unstable. Their brain activity may reveal anomalies in the areas responsible for emotional regulation, leading to erratic behavior and difficulty managing interpersonal relationships. A sociopath in a social setting might display charm intermittently, but this charm can quickly devolve into aggression or emotional outbursts when their needs are not met. Imagine a friend who can be warm and engaging at one moment but explodes in anger the next. This unpredictability can create a chaotic atmosphere where those around them feel emotionally drained and confused. While a sociopath may seem relatable on the surface, their emotional volatility often leads to misunderstandings and conflict, as they vacillate between engagement and detachment. Instead of calculated cruelty, sociopathy manifests in bursts of emotion, the roots of which lie in their brain's underlying wiring. By understanding the core differences in brain wiring between psychopathy and sociopathy, we equip ourselves with the insights necessary to navigate our interactions with both types of individuals. Recognizing these traits not only helps us protect ourselves from potential emotional harm, but also fosters deeper insight into the complexities of human behavior. As we continue to delve into these topics, remember that knowledge is your best defense. If you find this exploration engaging and insightful, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for more valuable discussions on the intricacies of psychological dynamics. As we delve deeper into the contrast between psychopathy and sociopathy, it's essential to understand how sociopathy manifests distinctly from the colder, more calculated nature of psychopathy. While psychopathy is marked by strategic manipulation and an inherent lack of emotional connection, sociopathy often exhibits emotional volatility and impulsivity, creating different relational dynamics. A sociopath may form fleeting attachments, experiencing moments of genuine emotion, but these connections are typically shallow and short-lived. For example, consider a sociopathic individual who throws themselves into a passionate relationship, only to withdraw abruptly after a perceived slight. This emotional roller coaster leaves their partner confused and hurt, and unlike a psychopath, who remains indifferent, the sociopath's unpredictable nature can cause emotional upheaval, affecting everyone involved. When we lay out the key differences between these two terms, several important distinctions surface. At face value, both psychopathy and sociopathy can appear similar due to their shared traits of lack of empathy and manipulative behavior, but the nuances reveal a richer landscape of human emotion. Psychopaths, with their superficial charm and calculated responses, often approach social interactions as a chess game, anticipating moves and actions to achieve their objectives. Conversely, sociopaths may operate more like players in a dice game. They take risks on the spur of the moment, leading to unpredictable outcomes. This difference in approach is critical in understanding how each interacts with the world. A common misconception is that all individuals who exhibit antisocial behavior are outright dangerous, yet this is not entirely accurate. While many sociopaths might engage in impulsive behavior that can harm others, not all do so with malicious intent. Many lead relatively ordinary lives, often channeling their energy into creative or high-risk pursuits. In contrast, psychopaths can sometimes climb the social and professional ranks without causing overt chaos, allowing them to blend seamlessly into society. To illustrate this, consider two individuals in a corporate setting. The psychopath might smooth-talk their way to a promotion, leaving a trail of undermined peers. Meanwhile, the sociopath may land in a conflict-heavy dynamic with coworkers, driven by an emotional response to office politics, leading to shoutouts and disputes that fracture team cohesion. To protect ourselves from the potentially damaging effects of both psychopathy and sociopathy, it's vital to cultivate an awareness of emotional patterns in ourselves and the people we interact with. Start by monitoring your feelings in various social situations. Do certain interactions leave you feeling drained or confused? Reflect on these experiences to identify what triggers these emotions. It may help to maintain a journal where you detail your feelings and observations. Pay attention to how people react when they are unhappy, as reactions can provide insight into whether someone is exhibiting psychopathic or sociopathic traits. Establishing clear boundaries is also essential. Do not hesitate to communicate your limits firmly and respectfully. Moreover, trust your instincts. If something feels off in a relationship, acknowledge that feeling rather than dismissing it. Engage in self-care and support networks, allowing you to develop resilience against potential manipulation. Remember, knowledge is your best defense strategy. The more you understand these psychological constructs and their distinct manifestations, the less susceptible you become to their effects in your daily life. If you find this analysis illuminating, remember to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for further insights into the complex world of psychology and how it shapes our interactions. Chapter 3. Emotional Coldness versus Explosive Rage. Have you ever experienced a moment where someone's reaction to stress or conflict left you utterly bewildered? Picture this. You're in a heated team meeting, addressing a critical issue that could potentially derail a project. As you present your concerns, one colleague remains disturbingly calm, seemingly unaffected by the tension in the room. Meanwhile, another simply erupts in anger, shouting and gesticulating wildly, making it feel as if the whole atmosphere has suddenly turned hostile. These contrasting responses can often leave us questioning the emotional mechanisms at play in an individual's mind. Such scenarios highlight a fundamental difference between psychopathy and sociopathy. How emotional coldness manifests alongside explosive rage, revealing the intricate layers of human interaction and emotional response. Emotional coldness is often a hallmark of psychopathy, where individuals exhibit a chilling detachment from feelings, both their own and those of others. Psychopaths can navigate social situations with remarkable ease, seamlessly blending in with typical social cues, yet their emotional responses often lack depth. They might joke about a serious or tragic event, displaying little regard for the pain of others. For instance, in a situation where a coworker faces a personal crisis, a psychopath might respond superficially, offering an empty platitude without any genuine emotional support. It is this emotional disconnect that enables them to manipulate and exploit situations for personal gain without the burden of empathy weighing them down. Relationships with psychopathic individuals can become painfully hollow, fostering an environment where charm masquerades as connection yet lacks authenticity. In stark contrast, sociopathy often manifests in intense emotional outbursts. While someone with sociopathic traits may form superficial attachments, their inability to regulate emotions can lead to volatile reactions. This explosive nature might surface in a variety of settings, such as an argument with a partner or frustration with a colleague. Consider a scenario where a sociopathic friend feels slighted after receiving critical feedback and responds with insults and rage, unable to see the bigger picture. In these moments, their emotional volatility can create chaos, leaving friends and family feeling frightened or overwhelmed. Unlike psychopathy, where the emotional response is muted, sociopathy can produce an erratic pattern of emotional engagement, oscillating between periods of closeness and sudden withdrawal. This dynamic interplay between emotional coldness and explosive rage offers profound insights into how psychopathy and sociopathy affect interpersonal relationships. The former's strategic manipulations can leave partners feeling confused and increasingly isolated, as emotional needs are consistently disregarded. On the other hand, the sociopath's emotional intensity can create an environment where loved ones tiptoe around conflict, weary of sparking a potentially violent outburst. In both cases, the individuals experiencing these interactions often find themselves questioning their feelings, struggling to reconcile their love for someone with the emotional turmoil that accompanies these relationships. As we navigate the complexities of human behavior, it becomes critical for us to recognize these patterns and how they impact our emotional safety. Understanding these distinctions is key to empowering ourselves in both personal and professional spheres. If you found this exploration of emotional responses intriguing, remember to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for deeper insights into the psychology that shapes our interactions. By cultivating this knowledge, we can better protect ourselves against the potential manipulation and emotional fallout that arise from engaging with psychopathic or sociopathic individuals. As we continue to explore the landscape of emotional responses, it's crucial to delve into how explosive rage characterizes sociopathy in a distinct way that contrasts sharply with the emotional coldness seen in psychopathy. Sociopaths may swing from moments of intense emotional investment to sudden outbursts that leave both them and those around them reeling. This highly unstable emotional state manifests not just in moments of conflict, but also during routine interactions, where the slightest provocation could trigger a disproportionate reaction. For example, a sociopath might react with extreme anger over a minor issue, such as feeling overlooked in a group discussion. Their inability to regulate their emotions can lead to shouting, aggression, or impulsive decision-making that alienates family members, friends, and colleagues. Unlike the cool and calculated demeanor of a psychopath, whose emotional responses are muted, the sociopath embodies a tempestuous nature that can create a whirlwind of chaos around them. To better understand the distinctions between psychopathy and sociopathy, it is essential to shine light on their respective emotional dynamics. Psychopaths, operating from a place of calculated emotional coldness, often appear like master puppeteers, manipulating others without so much as a flicker of genuine effect. They absorb social cues and can feign emotions perfectly, all while remaining emotionally disengaged. A memorable scenario can illustrate this. Imagine a businessman who navigates negotiations with an unsettling ease, effortlessly reading his counterpart, adopting a facade of sympathy during discussions about layoffs, and leaving the actual costs to others unacknowledged. This individual exemplifies psychopathy, moving through interactions as if they are mere stepping stones toward personal gain without any real connection to the outcomes experienced by others. Conversely, picturing a sociopath at a family gathering reveals a person who may start the evening with joyful engagement, sharing stories and laughter, only to erupt with indignation if someone jokingly critiques their taste in music. This sudden explosion can shock those present, making them question the appropriateness of their statements. In comparison to the clinical detachment of psychopathy, the sociopath's overwhelming emotional reactions can create an atmosphere of unpredictability, often leaving loved ones feeling anxious about what might trigger the next outburst. With this understanding, we can turn our focus to practical strategies for navigating relationships with individuals who exhibit these traits. One effective approach is to cultivate emotional awareness in both ourselves and in our interactions with others. By keeping a journal where you catalog your daily social encounters, you can reflect on how certain people make you feel. Notice patterns. Do you feel drained after conversations with someone? Do you frequently worry about provoking their anger? Recording these reflections can help you identify potential red flags and establish your emotional boundaries. It's essential to set clear limits and to communicate these boundaries effectively. If someone continually crosses lines, particularly in relation to how they express anger, it's important to address this behavior. Practice assertive communication. Express how certain actions affect you and what you need to feel safe. Additionally, connecting with supportive friends or professionals who understand these dynamics can provide the encouragement and insight needed to navigate challenging relationships. This exploration of emotional responses equips you with knowledge and tools to safeguard your emotional well-being. Understanding the differences between psychopathy and sociopathy can illuminate the behaviors you encounter, empowering you to protect yourself from manipulation and emotional turmoil. If you find this information valuable, remember to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we continue to unpack the complexities of psychology and its impact on our lives. Together, we can enhance our understanding and foster healthier relationships. Chapter 4: The Hidden Motives Behind Their Actions. Have you ever wondered what truly drives a person's behavior, especially when that behavior seems out of alignment with their outward persona? Consider the scenario where a friend offers to help you with a project, but as the days pass, you notice they become increasingly withdrawn, displaying jealousy and resentment when you receive praise for your work. This puzzling behavior prompts questions about their true motives. Are they genuinely supportive, or is there something darker at play? Understanding the hidden motives behind the actions of individuals with psychopathic and sociopathic traits is essential for deciphering the often misleading cues they present, as this knowledge can shield us from future emotional turmoil. At the heart of these hidden motives lies a complex web of psychological dynamics. Psychopaths often operate from a place of calculated manipulation, with motives that are decidedly self-serving. In their interactions, their primary objective frequently centers around gaining control, power, or resources, be it social status, financial gain, or emotional leverage over others. For instance, imagine a colleague who seems excessively friendly and eager to collaborate. However, as time goes on, you recognize that their true interest lies in positioning themselves favorably for a promotion, all while undermining your contributions. This strategic maneuvering reflects a psychopathic tendency to exploit relationships for personal advancement, rather than forming authentic connections. Their apparent warmth masks a meticulous evaluation of how each interaction can serve their interests. On the other hand, sociopaths exhibit a different set of hidden motives, rooted in emotional impulsivity and unpredictability. Though they may also harbor self-serving desires, such motives often manifest in more chaotic and erratic ways. This lack of emotional regulation can lead to behaviors that are damaging not only to themselves, but also to those around them. A sociopathic individual might express an interest in helping a friend through a difficult time, secretly motivated by a need for attention or validation. Eventually, this person may explode in anger or withdraw, revealing a profound self-centeredness hidden beneath their initial facade of concern. In a social setting, this unpredictability can create confusion, leaving friends questioning the sincerity of the sociopath's intentions. By probing deeper into these hidden motives, we gain valuable insight into how psychopathy and sociopathy operate in real-world contexts. Relationships with psychopaths often create a sense of unease, as we come to realize that genuine emotional engagement is absent. The illusion of camaraderie can be alluring, yet it ultimately serves a manipulative agenda. This dynamic can lead to disillusionment and emotional distress when the truth emerges. In contrast, relationships with sociopaths can feel like a roller coaster ride, where moments of connection are punctuated by unpredictability and volatility, leading to emotional exhaustion. Recognizing these hidden motives offers us the opportunity to protect ourselves from potential harm. By cultivating awareness around our feelings and the behaviors of those in our lives, we can identify the red flags that indicate manipulative tendencies. For instance, if you notice that a friend often shifts the conversation back to themselves or reacts with disproportionate anger over trivial matters, take note of these patterns as they may suggest deeper issues at play. Practical self-reflection can guide us in evaluating the motives behind someone's actions and recognizing how they align or misalign with our experiences. As we continue exploring these formidable psychological concepts, remember that understanding the hidden motives behind actions can help you navigate relationships more carefully and with greater insight. If you find this discussion valuable, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for more enlightening content that aims to equip you with the knowledge needed to discern the complexities of human behavior. Each step you take in unraveling these dynamics empowers you to foster healthier relationships while shielding yourself from manipulation and emotional discord. To further explore the hidden motives behind actions in the context of personality disorders, it's essential to delve deeper into the chaotic nature of sociopathy and how it contrasts with the more calculated tendencies of psychopathy. Sociopaths often exhibit motives that can be erratic and impulsive, leading to behaviors that are less predictable than those of psychopaths. While a psychopath may carefully plan their actions to achieve specific goals, resulting in a facade of normalcy, the sociopath operates in a highly emotional realm where their desires frequently override rational decision-making. For example, imagine a sociopath who comes to a friend's aid during difficult times, only to later exploit that same friendship in a fit of jealousy or rage, showcasing a pattern of emotional manipulation that stems from their need for validation. In everyday situations, this inconsistency creates a mixed bag of interactions. A sociopath might initially shower a friend with attention and concern, but once they feel threatened or unappreciated, their behavior could quickly spiral into volatility, demonstrating a reactive nature that is more about immediate emotional gratification than about maintaining healthy relationships. This is quite different from a psychopath, who may engage superficially and mask their ulterior motives, but does so with a level of foresight that belies emotional disturbance. When we directly compare these two concepts, we uncover significant distinctions. People often confuse the two due to their shared manipulative qualities, but the underlying motivations and emotional expressions set them apart. Psychopathy can be likened to a chess game, one played with strategic foresight, where each move is calculated to achieve victory while minimizing collateral damage to relationships. In contrast, sociopathy resembles a game of roulette, where the outcome is unpredictable, and the sociopath's motivations are influenced by a capricious emotional landscape that can change with the wind. This vivid analogy captures the essence of how each disorder plays out in interpersonal dynamics, emphasizing the stark differences in approach and outcome. To navigate the complexities of interacting with individuals who exhibit these traits, it is imperative to develop an awareness of your emotional responses to their behavior. Consider keeping a journal that allows you to document instances where you feel manipulated or emotionally unbalanced. Reflect on what specific actions triggered these feelings. Was it a subtle change in behavior that made you uncomfortable, or a blatant act of dishonesty? This self-reflection will not only help clarify your emotions, but also enable you to identify patterns that in turn can inform your responses. Establishing boundaries is another vital strategy. If you find yourself in a relationship with someone exhibiting either psychopathic or sociopathic traits, it's important to communicate clearly what behaviors you will not tolerate. Practice assertive communication by stating your needs and expectations openly. Learning to say no and consistently reinforcing your limits can help prevent emotional exploitation. Another beneficial exercise is to surround yourself with supportive individuals who appreciate authentic connections, as these relationships can provide a stabilizing counterbalance to the emotional turbulence potentially caused by psychopathic or sociopathic dynamics. As you learn more about the hidden motives behind behaviors, remember that knowledge is your strongest shield. By understanding these psychological complexities, you empower yourself to spot red flags and make informed decisions in your relationships. If you find value in these discussions and insights, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we continue to uncover the nuances of dark psychology and provide you with the tools you need for emotional resilience. Equipped with this knowledge, you can navigate your world with increased confidence and awareness, fostering healthier relationships while protecting your emotional well-being. Chapter 5: Calculated Manipulation versus Reckless Deception. Have you ever had a conversation that felt eerily scripted, where every word seemed meticulously chosen, almost as if the person was playing a role rather than engaging genuinely? This unsettling feeling often arises in interactions with individuals who display psychopathic traits. On the other hand, we have individuals exhibiting sociopathic behaviors whose deceptions often feel more impulsive and chaotic, leading to misunderstandings that can fluster both them and those around them. This division between calculated manipulation and reckless deception highlights a critical difference that is essential for understanding how these psychological concepts operate in our daily lives. Calculated manipulation is a defining characteristic of psychopathy, where individuals craft their actions and words with precision to control others and achieve personal gain. Psychopaths possess a distinctly strategic mindset, allowing them to analyze and exploit situations with a cold and measured approach. They may charm you with their charisma and seemingly care about your interests, but beneath that surface lies a careful architectural plan designed to secure their advantage. For instance, consider a colleague who feigns friendship to gain favor with management. While appearing supportive, they may be subtly undermining your contributions to advance their career trajectory. This behavior stems from a lack of genuine empathy, paired with an acute awareness of how their actions will influence those around them. In contrast, reckless deception, often associated with sociopathy, reflects a more erratic approach to manipulation. While sociopaths can be manipulative, their methods tend to lack planning and foresight. Instead, they act on impulse, driven by their immediate emotional states. Imagine a sociopathic friend who promises to help with a project, but suddenly backs out at the last minute, claiming they need to address a personal emergency. Their initial offer was filled with enthusiasm, but their unpredictability can create a sense of frustration and hurt for those relying on them. The difference here lies in the intention. Whereas the psychopath controls the narrative with calculated tactics, the sociopath reacts impulsively, often leaving a trail of confusion in their wake. The profound impact of these distinct manipulation styles is evident in personal relationships, workplaces, and social interactions. Individuals entangled with calculated manipulators may find themselves constantly second-guessing their interactions, feeling as though they're part of an elaborate game. Working alongside a psychopath can lead to workplace politics fraught with treachery, as they engage in tactics meant to undermine colleagues while maintaining an image of professionalism. In contrast, relationships with sociopaths can evolve into emotional roller coasters. Their reckless behavior can cultivate an environment of tension, as their sudden shifts in priorities may leave loved ones feeling insecure and questioning the authenticity of the connection. Understanding the intricacies of calculated manipulation versus reckless deception is crucial for self-awareness and protection. A practical exercise you can try is reflecting on your interactions with individuals who exhibit these traits, considering whether their intentions seem calculated or impulsive. Journaling about your feelings and observations can help reveal patterns that may indicate manipulative behavior, empowering you to draw clearer boundaries with those who might exploit your trust. By fostering awareness of these manipulation styles, you cultivate resilience and clarity in your relationships. You become equipped to recognize when someone might be maneuvering for personal benefit or receiving emotional distress stemming from impulsive behavior. This understanding not only helps you navigate personal dynamics, but also builds stronger, healthier connections moving forward. Remember, knowledge is your best ally in avoiding emotional peril. If you found this analysis enlightening, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we delve deeper into these complex psychological themes and provide insights to empower you in your daily interactions. Together, we can work towards understanding and protecting ourselves against the subtle arts of manipulation and deception. As we delve deeper into the realm of manipulation, it's essential to explore the reckless deception characteristic of sociopathy and how it stands distinctly apart from the calculated manipulation seen in psychopathy. Reckless deception embodies impulsivity, often leading to erratic behavior that can frustrate and confuse those around the sociopath. For instance, imagine a sociopathic individual promising to buy tickets for a major event, enthusiastically rallying friends to join them. However, as the date approaches, they suddenly change their mind, citing a spontaneous trip or a fleeting whim that overrides their commitment. This lack of follow-through showcases a pattern of behavior rooted in emotional immediacy, where the sociopath prioritizes their interests in the moment without regard for the consequences their actions may have on others. In stark contrast, calculated manipulation reflects the cold, deliberate strategizing of a psychopath who meticulously curates their interactions to serve a predetermined goal. Rather than acting impulsively, psychopaths assess situations with precision, often seeking to control relationships to fulfill their needs. Picture a scenario involving a project manager who strategically undermines a colleague to bolster their own reputation at work. They may offer false praise to the colleague while simultaneously spreading subtle discontent to ensure they appear more competent by comparison. This manipulation is calculated and serves a clear purpose, empowering the psychopath to elevate themselves while diminishing others, something that requires foresight and emotional detachment, as opposed to a spontaneous outburst. The differences between reckless deception and calculated manipulation are significant, yet they often overlap in the realm of interpersonal relationships, leading to misunderstandings. A common misconception is that both are inherently dangerous. However, the intent and execution vary widely. Calculated manipulators often function like puppeteers, with a clear understanding of their audience, while reckless deceivers resemble a storm, unpredictable, leaving emotional turmoil in their wake. To illustrate, consider a team environment where a psychopath might manipulate colleagues with charm, skillfully leading discussions to ensure they remain at the center of attention without any genuine connection to the people involved. Conversely, a sociopath on that same team might create tension by suddenly shifting priorities, causing conflict due to impulsiveness that disrupts team cohesion. To effectively protect yourself from the potential pitfalls of these manipulation styles, cultivating emotional awareness and critical self-reflection is vital. Start by examining your feelings during interactions with others. Do certain conversations leave you unsettled or confused? Age-old wisdom suggests listening to your gut, yet many overlook these signals until it's too late. By maintaining a journal, you can document your thoughts and feelings, analyzing patterns that signal manipulative behavior. For instance, note if you frequently feel neglected after engagements with someone, as this may indicate a deeper underlying issue linked to their reckless behavior. Additionally, practicing boundary setting is essential. Communicate what behaviors are unacceptable to you and reinforce these boundaries consistently. For instance, if someone continually lets you down or proves to be untrustworthy, it is appropriate to distance yourself from their influence. Cultivating a strong support system of trusted friends or family also empowers you. These connections can help reinforce your sense of self-worth and understanding, making it easier to distance yourself from those who might manipulate or deceive. Understanding the differences between calculated manipulation and reckless deception provides invaluable insight to navigate the complexities of human interaction. As you develop this understanding, you enhance your ability to discern genuine intentions and guard yourself against emotional harm. If this exploration resonated with you, remember to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we continue to unpack the intricacies of psychology and empower you with the knowledge needed to foster healthier relationships while protecting your emotional well-being. You hold the key to navigating these dynamics and creating fulfilling connections in your life. Chapter 6: Social Charm versus Outcast Aggression. Have you ever found yourself mesmerized by someone's charisma, only to later question their true nature when their behavior shifts unexpectedly? Imagine attending a networking event where one individual effortlessly draws people in with their charm, skillfully navigating conversations and leaving a trail of smiles in their wake. You walk away feeling invigorated by their energy, only to hear later that they've undermined others behind closed doors, displaying a level of aggression that you would never have guessed from their outward demeanor. This duality between social charm and outcast aggression captures the complexities that exist within individuals diagnosed with psychopathic and sociopathic traits. While both types may appear captivating on the surface, their underlying behaviors often tell a different story. Social charm is a quintessential characteristic of psychopathy. Psychopaths often possess an innate ability to attract others, easily engaging them with their charisma and wit. This charm is not merely superficial, it is a calculated tool, intricately woven into their interactions. They know how to present themselves enticingly, resembling a perfectly polished mirror, reflecting back what others want to see. A prime example can be found in the corporate world, where a psychopathic leader may charm their way into clients' hearts, securing lucrative deals through captivating pitches and compelling narratives. However, this facade of camaraderie masks a deeper truth. Underneath lies an absence of genuine empathy. Their skillful charm can dangerously blur the lines between authenticity and manipulation, leading others to trust them far too readily. In stark contrast, those exhibiting sociopathic traits can often feel like the metaphorical outcast of a social circle. Rather than using charm to engage, sociopaths can struggle with interpersonal relationships, leading to a more aggressive or confrontational demeanor when they feel threatened or marginalized. For instance, imagine a sociopath in a group project setting. While they may participate initially, their inability to connect with others can lead to feelings of exclusion. When they sense a lack of acceptance, their aggression may surface in destructive ways, such as lashing out at peers or sabotaging the work in retaliation. In an effort to mask their insecurities, the sociopath emerges as the proverbial bully, leaving their social circle in a state of heightened tension and anxiety. The differences between social charm and outcast aggression highlight not only divergent behavioral styles, but also illuminate the underlying motivations that drive each type. Many people mistakenly believe that charm and aggression are merely opposites. However, they can often exist side by side, depending on the personal disposition and environmental context. The charming psychopath uses their allure to manipulate while sidestepping emotional depth. In contrast, the sociopath resorts to aggressive tactics when feeling marginalized or unvalued, struggling to manage their emotions, and often resulting in conflict that alienates them further from social acceptance. Embracing a deeper understanding of these social dynamics cultivates our ability to navigate relationships more successfully. By becoming attuned to the subtle signals of charm and aggression, we can better discern the true intentions of those around us. Reflecting on your interactions, consider keeping a journal to note how people invoke your feelings in different contexts. Do you feel uplifted or uneasy after talking to a particular individual? These reflections can illuminate particular patterns in charm and aggression, empowering you with the insight needed to approach future engagements more wisely. As you continue exploring the intricacies of human behavior, remember that heightened awareness allows you to advocate for yourself and foster healthier connections. If you find this discussion on social dynamics enlightening, be sure to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we delve deeper into the complexities of psychological traits. This journey equips you with the knowledge necessary to discern and protect yourself from the sometimes deceptive appearances of charm and the reactivity of hidden aggression. With understanding comes strength, and you'll find yourself navigating relationships with increased insight and confidence. To further understand the concept of outcast aggression, we must delve into how this trait manifests distinctly in sociopathic behavior, contrasting sharply with the social charm typical of psychopathy. Outcast aggression often arises from deep-seated insecurities and a heightened sensitivity to rejection. Sociopaths may find themselves feeling alienated within social settings, leading them to adopt an aggressive or hostile stance when they perceive a threat to their self-esteem. For example, consider a scenario in a social gathering where a sociopathic individual feels ignored while their friends are engaging with someone new. Instead of addressing their feelings calmly, they may lash out, making cutting remarks or creating drama to reestablish their importance. This kind of aggression is not calculated, rather it is impulsive and fueled by the urgency to reclaim a sense of belonging and control. In peeling back the layers of outcast aggression, we see a crucial distinction from the calculated charm of the psychopathic individual. Psychopaths thrive on manipulation and often utilize their social skills to present themselves as likable and approachable, but their intentions remain self-serving. They interact with others in a manner akin to a skilled actor in a well-rehearsed play, where every smile and gesture is designed to achieve specific outcomes. For instance, a psychopathic business partner might invest time in earning trust within their team, but behind the scenes, they may be laying plans to sabotage a colleague in order to position themselves for a promotion. Their charm is a mask designed to conceal their predatory nature, maintaining an illusion of good intentions while pursuing personal gain at any cost. In contrast, sociopaths may appear more unpredictable and volatile. Their aggression can erupt suddenly, often as a defense mechanism in response to perceived rejection or exclusion. This unpredictability creates an atmosphere of tension in their social circles. Imagine a sociopath who feels left out during a dinner party. Rather than finding a way to integrate themselves, they might complain loudly about the dynamics, or make awkward jokes that disrupt the harmony of the gathering. This reaction stems from their inability to manage feelings of insecurity and frustration, leading to a cycle of alienation that perpetuates their role as the outcast. Understanding the difference between social charm and outcast aggression is instrumental in navigating interactions with individuals who may exhibit these traits. A misconception that often arises is the belief that charm is inherently positive and aggression is always negative. However, the charm displayed by a psychopath can serve insidious purposes, while the aggression of a sociopath, though harmful, may stem from a place of vulnerability rather than pure intent to harm. To strengthen your awareness, consider engaging in self-reflection after social situations. Ask yourself how certain individuals made you feel. Were you drawn in or put off? This practice will help you discern patterns and recognize the dynamics at play in your relationships. It's also beneficial to set clear boundaries when interacting with individuals displaying these traits. Knowing your limits and communicating them effectively allows you to retain control over your emotional space. If someone consistently undermines your feelings or the dynamic of a group gathering, it is essential to assertively address it or distance yourself if necessary. Cultivating a supportive network of friends and family can also serve as an invaluable resource, providing encouragement and perspective when navigating these complexities. As you explore these psychological phenomena, remember that awareness and understanding are your greatest allies. If you find this discussion engaging and want to dive deeper into the nuances of human behavior, please subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche. Together, we will unravel the layers of psychology and empower ourselves to foster healthier relationships while guarding against manipulation and emotional distress. Your journey toward greater understanding begins now, equipping you with the knowledge you need to navigate life's social complexities with confidence. Chapter 7. Planning crime versus acting on impulse. Have you ever heard of a seemingly ordinary person committing an unexpected crime, leaving everyone around them in shock? Picture this. A well-respected community member, seemingly perfect in their professional and personal life, suddenly becomes the focus of a police investigation for embezzlement. How could someone so well-liked and trusted betray the very community they were part of? This scenario exemplifies the chilling reality of how individuals with psychopathic tendencies meticulously plan their criminal behavior, contrasting sharply with the impulsivity often exhibited by sociopaths. Understanding these distinctions leads us to a deeper insight into how these psychological traits manifest in real-world situations. At the heart of psychopathy lies a calculated mind, adept at planning and executing actions with precision. Individuals who show psychopathic traits are commonly known for their ability to engage in strategic thinking, often plotting complex schemes to achieve their goals without regard for the consequences of their actions. When we consider crimes committed by psychopaths, we often find them to be premeditated and executed with chilling efficiency. For example, a psychopathic serial killer may conduct thorough research on their victims, selecting targets based on vulnerability and ensuring that their plans are foolproof, leaving little room for evidence. Their cool demeanor often masks a deep-seated desire for control and dominance, which propels their meticulous nature when orchestrating acts of deceit or crime. In stark contrast, sociopaths engage in impulsive behaviors, governed by their emotional responses rather than calculated decision-making. When faced with difficult situations or conflicts, they may react violently or engage in reckless behavior without thinking through the potential consequences. For instance, imagine a sociopath who, in the heat of an argument, lashes out physically at a partner or a coworker. Their inability to regulate their emotions transforms a simple disagreement into a chaotic and destructive encounter. The impulsivity displayed in these moments reflects a deeper struggle with emotional management, leading to regrettable decisions made in the heat of the moment. When we juxtapose planning crime against acting on impulse, the distinctions become clearer. Psychopaths are like chess players, considering multiple moves ahead and calculating risks to avoid capture. They navigate their social environments with cunning and skill, often leaving those around them unaware of their true intentions. In contrast, sociopaths function more like amateur athletes, playing a chaotic game of basketball, who react to the game as it unfolds without any structured strategy. Their spontaneous decisions can lead to substantial emotional upheaval for themselves and others, frequently leaving a wake of disruption. Many people mistakenly assume that all individuals engaging in criminal behavior are somehow similar, but the reality is multifaceted. While both types may cross moral boundaries, the pathways they take to reach their goals differ vastly. Understanding these differences is crucial not only for recognizing manipulative behaviors in others, but also for protecting ourselves from potential emotional harm. To better navigate these dynamics, it may be beneficial to cultivate a heightened sense of awareness in your daily interactions. Pay attention to the nuances in behavior that might reveal tendencies toward impulsivity or calculated manipulation. If you feel uncomfortable or uneasy in a social situation, take a moment to reflect on why that might be. Maintaining a journal can help track these feelings and provide insight into any unhealthy dynamics in your relationships. Equipping ourselves with knowledge about these psychological mechanisms enables us to foster healthier interactions and safeguard our emotional well-being. If you find this discussion valuable and want to dive deeper into the complexities of human behavior, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche. Together, we'll explore these vital themes, arming ourselves with the insights needed for navigating life's intricate social landscape with confidence and clarity. To further explore the concept of acting on impulse, we must examine how it distinctly characterizes sociopathic behavior and contrasts strikingly with the thoughtful planning associated with psychopathy. Sociopaths often allow their emotions to guide their actions, leading to spontaneous and sometimes erratic behavior. This impulsiveness can manifest in various settings, be it personal relationships, workplaces, or social gatherings. For instance, consider a sociopathic individual who, feeling slighted during a casual outing, suddenly erupts in anger over a minor comment made by a friend. This heat-of-the-moment reaction stands in stark contrast to a psychopathic individual who would have likely processed such an interaction strategically, perhaps putting on a facade of politeness while holding their true feelings in check. The sociopath's inability to manage intense emotions leads to impulsive actions that can alienate friends and family, reinforcing their outsider status. When we directly compare acting on impulse with the concept of planning crime, the differences become increasingly pronounced. Psychopaths are known for their meticulous and calculating approach to their actions. They assess risks and outcomes, planning with precision to ensure that their objectives are met while avoiding consequences. For example, a psychopath might orchestrate a white-collar crime, carefully covering their tracks while maintaining a respectable appearance in their professional life. Their charm and confidence can often mask their true intentions, enabling them to manipulate situations to their advantage without raising suspicion. In contrast, the sociopath's actions often lack foresight. Their decisions can be impulsive, resulting in immediate gratification, but long-term repercussions. An example might be someone who impulsively engages in reckless behavior, such as participating in a bar fight after a few drinks, leading to violence and consequences that could have been avoided had they taken a moment to reflect on their emotions. One common misconception is that all criminal behavior stems from the same motivations. While both psychopathic and sociopathic individuals can engage in illegal or harmful activities, the driving forces are inherently different. Psychopaths typically engage in their actions with a clear end goal in mind, while sociopaths often act out of an inability to cope with their environment and emotions. This difference is crucial for understanding how each type interacts with society and those around them, as well as the potential dangers they may pose. To effectively protect yourself from the manipulative behaviors associated with both psychopathy and sociopathy, it is crucial to cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Pay attention to how interactions make you feel. Are there particular individuals whose behavior leaves you unsettled or anxious? Reflecting on such experiences can reveal underlying patterns in their actions, enabling you to draw conclusions about their potential motivations. Consider maintaining a journal to document your observations and feelings about various social situations. Doing so can clarify how often impulsive behaviors manifest and help you learn to recognize them in real time. Setting healthy boundaries also becomes essential in navigating relationships with individuals who display impulsive or calculated behavior. Establishing limits and maintaining those boundaries will create a safer emotional environment for you. Moreover, surrounding yourself with a support network of trusted friends and family can offer insights and perspective, helping you reaffirm your feelings when faced with challenging interactions. By deepening your understanding of the differences between planning crime and acting on impulse, you empower yourself to discern manipulative tactics and protect your emotional well-being. If you have found this discussion valuable, I invite you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we explore the intricacies of psychological behavior to enhance your personal awareness and resilience. With this knowledge, you are better equipped to navigate the complexities of human interactions while safeguarding yourself from potential emotional harm. Your journey toward understanding and empowerment begins here. Chapter 8: The Role of Fear and Guilt. Have you ever experienced a situation where someone's words seemed to haunt your thoughts long after the conversation ended? Picture a scenario where a friend, while offering their opinion, makes a comment that leaves you feeling uneasy and unsettled. This unsettling feeling can be especially pronounced when interacting with individuals who harbor psychopathic or sociopathic traits, as they often wield fear and guilt like weapons to manipulate others. Understanding how these emotions play a role in controlling behavior is essential to navigate relationships effectively, especially when the lines between genuine concern and sinister motivation blur. Fear is a powerful tool used primarily by psychopathic individuals. Their ability to inspire fear in others often stems from their lack of empathy and understanding of emotional dynamics. They can exploit the emotions of those around them to achieve their goals. For instance, a manager who employs intimidation tactics may instill fear in subordinates, making them feel threatened about job security or professional advancement. This fear can then be used to control behavior. Employees may become risk-averse, suppressing their concerns or dissenting opinions to avoid angering their boss. This dynamic creates a toxic environment where the psychopath thrives on the vulnerability of their peers, ensuring their authority remains unchallenged. On the other hand, sociopaths often utilize guilt as a means to manipulate those around them. They may engage in erratic behavior, yet simultaneously expect others to shoulder the emotional burden of their actions. Imagine a friend who frequently makes you feel responsible for their unhappiness, often expressing phrases like, "If you really cared about me, you would." This tactic forces you into a corner, making you feel guilty for not acting in ways that meet their fluctuating emotional needs. Such manipulation can leave you grappling with feelings of inadequacy while they evade accountability for their own emotional state. This use of guilt reflects their inability to self-regulate, turning their insecurities and emotional turmoil into a tool aimed at controlling those they interact with. The interplay between fear and guilt in the realm of psychopathy and sociopathy can lead to confusion and misunderstanding. While both fear and guilt are powerful emotions, their applications differ significantly in how they are leveraged by these personality types. Psychopaths create a climate of fear that enforces compliance, while sociopaths invoke guilt to elicit sympathy and a sense of duty. The two often intermingle, creating an environment ripe for emotional exploitation and making it challenging for those affected to maintain their sense of self-worth and boundaries. One common misconception is that only overt threats induce fear, but subtle cues can induce significant anxiety. A chilling look, a pointed remark about your performance, or a consistent air of judgment can instill an instinctual fear of failure or rejection. Similarly, guilt can manifest in more nuanced ways than outright accusations. A self-pitying comment or an emotionally charged sigh can elicit a profound sense of obligation and responsibility toward the sociopath that often catches the victim off guard. To combat these manipulative tactics, it is vital to cultivate self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Start by checking in with your feelings in social interactions. Ask yourself if you feel unduly pressured or fearful in certain relationships. Maintaining a journal may help in identifying patterns in your emotions related to others' behavior. If you sense someone is leveraging fear or guilt to manipulate you, take a moment to evaluate the relationship as a whole. Understanding your triggers can empower you to reclaim your emotional space and disengage from the cycle of manipulation. It's equally important to foster a support system that encourages healthy emotional expression and boundaries. Surrounding yourself with individuals who respect your feelings can provide a buffer against manipulative influences. Similarly, practicing assertive communication can help you establish clear limits when others attempt to invoke fear or guilt. By acknowledging the roles fear and guilt play in relationships, you equip yourself with the knowledge to navigate social complexities more effectively. If you find this conversation enlightening, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we delve further into understanding the intricate interplay of psychology and human emotions. Together, we can explore strategies for fostering healthier, more authentic connections in our lives, while safeguarding against emotional manipulation. To further our understanding of the role of guilt, it is important to recognize how this emotional tactic is distinct from the fear typically employed by psychopathic individuals. While fear is a powerful motivator that can induce compliance through intimidation, guilt operates on a different level, often manifesting as an internal emotional struggle that makes victims question their own motives and character. Guilt can be insidious. It seeps into relationships and complicates interactions. When an individual, particularly a sociopath, uses guilt, they create a dynamic where their emotional turmoil demands attention, turning the focus onto themselves while pressuring others to accommodate their needs. For example, consider a colleague who constantly shares their personal struggles and presents themselves as the victim in various situations. Their emotional pleas may be effective in eliciting sympathy, prompting others to invest extra time and energy to support them. However, this scenario often leads to feelings of obligation and resentment among those being manipulated, creating an imbalance in the relationship. In contrast to this use of guilt, fear instilled by a psychopath can be more overt and direct, often involving threats or intimidation to maintain control over their environment. Imagine an abusive supervisor whose domineering presence sends shivers through their team. When deadlines are missed or performance falters, they might escalate their intimidation tactics, making team members fearful of losing their jobs. Such fear tactics ensure compliance, as employees are compelled to act not from enthusiasm or loyalty, but out of sheer anxiety about professional retribution. This active fear creates a toxic atmosphere where genuine contributions to teamwork are overshadowed by the need to stay under the radar. The differences between the use of fear and guilt in manipulation highlight several key distinctions. Fear typically produces a straightforward response designed to ensure compliance through intimidation, whereas guilt can lead to more complex emotional entanglements that confuse responsibility with emotional obligation. A common misconception is that fear-based manipulation is always blatant and apparent. In reality, the subtleties of guilt can often trap individuals into making choices they might not otherwise consider. Similarly, guilt can be masked under the guise of normal emotional expression. The friend who seems genuinely concerned while engaging in emotional drama may be exploiting your good nature rather than fostering a true connection. As you develop a deeper awareness of these tactics, practical applications for self-protection become crucial. Start by evaluating the relationships in your life through the lens of fear and guilt. Identify any dynamics that make you feel uneasy. Are there individuals who invoke a sense of obligation through guilt? Or do you experience angst in interactions that seem more dominated by threat or intimidation? Taking time for self-reflection can illuminate these hidden influences. Journal your feelings after social encounters, noting any instance of discomfort. This practice can help you recognize patterns and gain clarity into the emotional dynamics at play. Setting boundaries is another effective strategy when dealing with manipulative individuals. Clearly communicate what behaviors will not be tolerated and stand firm in defending your emotional space. When guilt or fear emerges, remind yourself that it is okay to prioritize your emotional health above catering to someone else's needs. Surround yourself with supportive individuals who respect your feelings and encourage open communication. This support system can act as a buffer against manipulative influences and strengthen your resolve to stand your ground in difficult interactions. By understanding how fear and guilt manifest in relationships, you empower yourself to navigate social landscapes with greater confidence. If you find this exploration of emotional manipulation enlightening, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we delve deeper into these psychological concepts. Together, we will build the knowledge and skills necessary to protect ourselves from the subtle arts of emotional manipulation, fostering a healthier emotional landscape in our interpersonal connections. Your journey toward emotional resilience begins now, turning awareness into actionable insight as you learn to recognize and address these complex dynamics. Chapter 9. Can they ever change? Have you ever found yourself in a relationship with someone who continually exhibits troubling behaviors, only to hope they might eventually change? It's a common conundrum many face, particularly when navigating connections with individuals displaying psychopathic or sociopathic traits. Consider a friend whose charm and charisma initially drew you in, only to leave you feeling drained and confused due to their manipulative tendencies. Time and again, you may have found yourself standing by them, hoping they would reflect upon their actions and improve. This longing for change raises an essential and often troubling question. Can individuals with these personality disorders genuinely change, or are they fundamentally incapable of altering their behavior? When discussing psychopathy, the consensus among mental health professionals leans toward a challenging reality. Change may be exceedingly unlikely. Psychopathy is typically defined by a persistent pattern of manipulative and antisocial behavior, coupled with shallow emotional responses. Those with psychopathic traits often lack the capacity for empathy or remorse, making genuine emotional growth difficult, if not impossible. For example, a psychopathic individual might acknowledge their harmful actions, but will do so merely as a tactic to avoid consequences, rather than a true desire to improve. Consider a scenario in a workplace where a highly charismatic employee continually sabotages colleagues to advance themselves. They may project an image of remorse when confronted, but will likely return to their manipulative ways once pressure is off. Their inability to connect with the emotional repercussions of their actions suggests a significant barrier to change. In contrast, sociopathic individuals may display a greater potential for change, though this is not a guarantee. Sociopathy often includes impulsive behavior and emotional volatility, stemming from deep-seated insecurities and an inability to manage interpersonal relationships. Unlike psychopaths, sociopaths might be capable of forming emotional bonds, which can serve as a foundation for genuine self-reflection and personal growth. A sociopathic person who acknowledges their patterns of destructive behavior may seek help through therapy or engage in self-improvement strategies. Nevertheless, this journey is fraught with challenges. It requires significant self-awareness and a willingness to confront uncomfortable feelings. For instance, imagine a sociopathic individual who recognizes their hostile reactions and actively works to seek therapy. While they may struggle to maintain consistency, genuine efforts toward change can yield progress over time. An often overlooked nuance in both cases is understanding the social contexts in which these individuals operate. Many people mistakenly think that dramatic changes in behavior can happen overnight, but this is rarely the case. Chronic patterns of behavior, especially deeply ingrained ones, take time and continual effort to alter. Factors such as support systems, therapeutic intervention, and personal motivation play crucial roles in determining whether change is feasible. To navigate relationships with individuals who display these traits, it's essential to cultivate self-awareness and set realistic expectations. Reflecting on your experiences and recognizing patterns can inform your understanding of the dynamic in play. Ask yourself whether this person has shown any desire for change or whether they consistently return to harmful behavior despite your support. Surrounding yourself with a strong support network can help you maintain your sense of worth and offer perspective. While empathy is vital in relationships, remember that you deserve to prioritize your emotional well-being, especially when dealing with individuals who may never change. Learning to recognize when you are being manipulated can empower you to make informed choices about your relationships. If you find this exploration of change in psychopathy and sociopathy insightful, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche. Together, we can continue to dissect these complex psychological concepts, providing you with the understanding needed to navigate the intricacies of human behavior. Your journey in discovering the truth about these traits is key to fostering healthier connections and protecting your emotional health. Understanding the potential for change, whether present or absent, equips you with the knowledge to engage in relationships more wisely. In understanding whether individuals with psychopathic and sociopathic traits can change, it's essential to reflect deeper on the contrasting nature of their psychological characteristics. For those exhibiting psychopathic traits, the essence lies in a profound emotional detachment. Their personalities are often marked by a persisting inability to empathize, meaning they can feign understanding or remorse to manipulate situations for personal gain. Yet their motivations remain driven by self-interest. For example, consider a psychopathic individual who, upon being caught in a lie, skillfully apologizes in a way that leaves others feeling guilty for questioning their integrity. They may appear contrite, adeptly maneuvering through the moment, but this charm is merely a facade, and their underlying motivations likely won't shift simply because the consequences of their actions have been highlighted. In contrast, sociopaths may possess a slightly greater capacity for change due to their ability to form emotional connections, albeit shallow ones. They often struggle to maintain consistent relationships due to emotional outbursts and impulsivity, but this emotional volatility can provide a pathway toward growth if they choose to engage in reflective practices. Consider a sociopathic individual who lashes out in response to feeling rejected or excluded in social settings. If they acknowledge their tendency to react with aggression when feeling cornered and actively seek help, they have the potential to learn and develop healthier strategies for emotional regulation. This contrast, while nuanced, underlines a critical difference in the potential for change within these two personality types. The key differences between psychopathy and sociopathy highlight the complexity of change as well. Psychopathy rarely yields to genuine transformation, as their emotional framework is fundamentally incapable of evolving to encompass empathy or genuine remorse. This fixed mindset creates a challenging environment for personal growth, leading many to engage in harmful behaviors throughout their lives without recognizing the need for change. Sociopaths, on the other hand, often operate within the turmoil of their emotional reactions. Although these reactions can create significant relational challenges, they may also foster some level of self-awareness, leading to attempts at personal growth. The misconception that these two traits represent a singular behavior pattern must be addressed, as recognizing the difference can empower individuals to discern their interactions with others more accurately. To navigate relationships with these personality types, self-awareness becomes crucial. Begin by examining your feelings and interactions with individuals who exhibit these traits. Reflect on whether their behaviors leave you feeling confused, unhappy, or manipulated. Journaling your thoughts can be a valuable exercise. Noting your emotional responses to various encounters may reveal patterns that will help clarify your understanding of these dynamics. Additionally, it is imperative to set boundaries. If someone is consistently undermining your self-worth or compelling you to feel guilt over their actions, it's vital to communicate your limits clearly. Surrounding yourself with supportive individuals who respect your emotional boundaries can also fortify your resilience. These connections can serve as a sounding board when you feel overwhelmed. It's beneficial to participate in discussions with trusted friends about relationship dynamics to gain different perspectives and reaffirm your insights. Remember to take care of your emotional health first. Prioritize your well-being as you navigate these often treacherous waters. As you contemplate the complexities of change among psychopathic and sociopathic individuals, your understanding of these dynamics becomes a tool for empowerment in your personal interactions. If you find this exploration relevant, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we continue to dissect the intricacies of human behavior. Together, we can build the knowledge necessary to protect ourselves from emotional manipulation and cultivate healthier relationships. Your journey to greater emotional awareness and self-protection continues here. Chapter 10. Spotting them in real life. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone's behavior raised your suspicions, but you couldn't quite put your finger on what was off about them? Imagine attending a social gathering where one guest appears charming, engaging, and exceptionally friendly. As the evening progresses, however, subtle hints begin to seep through the cracks in their persona. An offhanded comment here, a dismissive remark there. By the end of the night, you feel a sense of discomfort lingering in your gut. This unsettling experience reflects a broader reality. Understanding how to spot individuals with psychopathic or sociopathic traits can be crucial for protecting ourselves from emotional harm. Unfortunately, the fine line between charm and manipulative behavior can lead to confusion, causing us to misinterpret intentions and overlook warning signs. To begin our journey into spotting these traits in real life, we must first define what we're looking for. Psychopathy is often indicated by a unique blend of charm, intelligence, and a pronounced lack of empathy. Those with psychopathic traits may excel in social settings, quickly winning people over with their confidence and charisma. They may present themselves as trustworthy and reliable, only to reveal a self-serving agenda underneath. For example, consider a colleague who seems genuinely interested in your ideas during meetings, yet consistently takes credit for your work or subtly undermines your contributions when discussing projects with superiors. This behavior, while difficult to pinpoint initially, can lead to a pattern of manipulation that leaves you feeling marginalized and confused. In contrast, identifying sociopathic tendencies often revolves around the unpredictability and impulsivity of the individual. Sociopaths may lack the refined social skills that psychopaths exhibit, leading them to react emotionally and erratically. You might encounter someone who, in casual conversation, glosses over boundaries and frequently inflates their personal dramas to draw attention. Their inability to manage emotions means they may lash out unexpectedly when feeling insulted or threatened, creating an erratic, unpredictable environment around them. For instance, a sociopath might display charming and engaging qualities, but quickly escalate to an explosive reaction when faced with criticism, leaving friends and colleagues bewildered. Understanding these traits allows us to look for specific signs in relationships, workplaces, and social contexts. Many people often confuse the two due to superficial similarities in behavior, but taking a closer look at the depth of their emotional regulation and motives can provide clarity. A common misconception is that all charming individuals are trustworthy. However, true trustworthiness must be rooted in empathy, consistency, and accountability. A psychopath's charm might draw you in, but their underlying motivations can leave you feeling exploited and questioning your judgment. To equip yourself with the tools needed to recognize these behaviors, consider engaging in self-reflection after social interactions. Pay attention to how you feel around certain individuals. Do you feel uplifted, or do you sense discomfort? Are conversations often one-sided, with the other person dominating and turning the focus back to themselves? Take note of your emotional responses to these dynamics, as they may reveal core aspects of the person you are engaging with. Additionally, trust your intuition. If someone's behavior seems too good to be true or creates an air of discomfort, don't ignore those signals. Seeking feedback from friends or colleagues can also help you gain perspective on any concerning relationships. By fostering open dialogue, you not only arm yourself with information, but also create a supportive network that encourages healthy interactions. As we explore the intricacies of recognizing psychopathy and sociopathy, remember that knowledge is your best defense against emotional manipulation. If you find this discussion invaluable, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, where we will delve deeper into understanding these traits and equipping ourselves with the wisdom to foster safe and healthy relationships. Your ability to recognize these critical psychological nuances empowers you to protect yourself and navigate life's challenges with greater confidence and clarity. To gain a deeper understanding of how to spot psychopathy and sociopathy in everyday life, we must differentiate between their distinct traits and behaviors. Psychopathy is often characterized by superficial charm and a high degree of manipulation. Individuals with psychopathic traits are skilled at reading social cues, making them seem charismatic and engaging at first glance. Their charm can create a facade of warmth and trust, allowing them to maneuver through social circles with ease. For instance, a psychopathic salesperson might convince clients of an almost irresistible deal, carefully crafted with persuasive language, yet beneath their engaging exterior lies a self-serving agenda. Their goal is to close the deal, regardless of the ethical implications. In personal relationships, a psychopath might weave a captivating narrative of love and loyalty, leaving their partner feeling valued and secure, while secretly plotting ways to exploit their trust for personal gain. On the other hand, sociopathy often presents as more erratic behavior, marked by emotional instability and impulsiveness. Sociopaths tend to struggle with maintaining consistent relationships and may oscillate between warmth and aggression, often reflecting their intense emotional responses. A sociopathic individual might initially appear friendly and open, only to lash out unexpectedly during moments of perceived rejection or frustration. For example, a sociopath may be engaging at a social gathering but could react explosively if someone makes an offhand comment that they interpret as criticism. This volatility can leave friends and colleagues feeling confused and apprehensive, unsure of what version of the person they might encounter next. The key differences between psychopathy and sociopathy also highlight their respective approaches to interpersonal interactions. While both may exhibit manipulative behavior, psychopaths tend to be calculated in their actions, viewing relationships as transactional and focusing on long-term advantage. Conversely, sociopaths demonstrate a more responsive nature, often acting impulsively based on their emotional state at the moment. This differentiation is crucial for understanding human behavior, as many mistakenly believe that these traits exist on a single continuum. In reality, the motivations driving their actions diverge significantly, revealing the complexity of human personality. A relatable analogy would be to see a psychopath as a chess player who strategically plans every move, contemplating multiple steps ahead, while a sociopath is akin to a child playing tag, reactive rather than strategic, responding only to the immediate game without foresight. Recognizing these differences offers us practical applications for self-defense against manipulation in our everyday lives. One effective strategy involves honing your observation skills. Pay attention to consistent patterns in people's behavior. If someone frequently vacillates between supportive and hostile, it may indicate sociopathic tendencies. Additionally, recognize any attempts to charm you into complacency, especially if they feel too good to be true. Journaling your thoughts and feelings after social interactions can also serve as an insightful tool. By committing your thoughts to paper, you can clarify recurring emotions and gain perspective on how specific individuals affect your well-being. Equipped with this knowledge, setting firm boundaries becomes essential. Communicate your expectations clearly and do not hesitate to distance yourself from individuals who display manipulative traits if they compromise your emotional safety. Surround yourself with a supportive network that encourages open dialogue about your feelings and experiences. This community can provide invaluable feedback and reaffirm your understanding of healthy relationships versus those fraught with manipulation. If this discussion resonates with you and offers clarity in navigating the complexities of human behavior, consider subscribing to my channel, Cloaked Psyche. Together, we will dissect these themes further, equipping you with the strategies needed to discern and respond to psychopathic and sociopathic behaviors. By broadening your understanding, you can foster healthier, more meaningful relationships while safeguarding your emotional well-being. Your journey toward greater emotional awareness and resilience begins now. Thank you for joining me on this insightful journey into understanding the complexities of psychopathy and sociopathy. We've explored the defining characteristics of these traits, how they manifest in relationships, and the emotional tactics individuals may employ to manipulate those around them. The key takeaways emphasize the importance of recognizing these behaviors to protect your emotional well-being and foster healthier connections. Remember, knowledge is empowerment. By identifying these patterns, you can navigate your social landscape with confidence and clarity. I encourage you to take immediate action by reflecting on your interactions and setting boundaries where necessary. Your emotional health is paramount, and you have the ability to safeguard it. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, Cloaked Psyche, for more empowering insights. Together, we can continue to deepen our understanding of psychology and enhance our emotional resilience.